Hey guys, and welcome back to my Aston Martin restoration on Supercar Tribe. If it's your first time here, welcome, and you're going to find out about all the crazy activities I'm doing with this Aston Martin rebuild. So just to recap, if you haven't watched the previous videos, I bought an Aston Martin. It's a proper barn find, Aston Martin Rapide, one of my favorite cars of all time, and I thought it was going to be an easy repair. I'm sure you guys have been in that position before where you've seen a car, it's been damaged, and you thought, I can repair this. Yeah, that was me. I bought the car, took it back to the workshop, we put it on a ramp, had a look underneath, it wasn't too bad, went to start the engine, and that's where everything fell apart. The engine was running really badly, and we basically had to take the engine out, we stripped it down, and not only did we find piston damage, we found a hole in the bottom of my engine as well. Luckily didn't go through the outside wall, it was internal damage only, but nonetheless it's a hole, and it's a pretty big one. Actually there was two holes, and both of them are pretty big. So in the previous episode we had just discovered the holes, and in this episode now we're going to actually start stripping down the oil pump and see if that's damaged as well. I'm fingers crossed, I'm hoping that it's not, but there's so much damage in the engine, who knows? We're about to find out in a second, so let's dive in and check it out. We've got bits flying out of the engine. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. And that's the other side. That's the wall. And that's the wall for cylinder 6. So this is the bottom of the oil pan, or some, not very good obviously, you can see the bits are still in there. A lot of the bits have already been taken out. Big concern that I have is around the oil pump, because obviously all of this crap has been circulating around in the oil pump. I can get a new oil pump, but obviously I want to try and avoid that if possible. So what they're going to do is they're going to open it up and have a look at the inside, see if it's damaged or anything like that, see if it's working okay. If it's working and they just need to clean it out and it's working fine, then that's great. It means I don't need to order a new oil pump, which will save me a lot of money. But if not, then I'll have to, and you can see it's an Aston Martin part, so it's not something I can use with from a Ford part, unfortunately. So this is currently my dilemma. The other thing that I need to sort of work out is what to do about the baffle, because this has been damaged on this side, so there's supposed to be a little bit extra over here, which covers the cylinder 6 and 12. That's obviously been damaged in the process. I do not have a used baffle available, so that's a bit of a problem. This seems to be in fine condition, so that's good, but this bit has been broken off. I need to understand, if I was to reuse this, what would be the implications, because it would mean that it's exposed on this side to cylinder 6 and 12. So that's a little bit of a research that I need to do to understand that. That seal is also going to be changed. Basically I've ordered new seals for everything, so it gets rebuilt properly. So we're going to open up the oil pump because we're worried that it's damaged inside. So we'll just open up these, and hopefully it's okay, but we suspect that there might be damage. It's quite expensive if it is damaged, so let's have a look. That just came out from there.
that one's a skirt for try and error. If this one not go, not a working pump,
Yeah.
go again.
Yeah.
That's it. This one's here. We have a scratch here.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe every time not going pump properly.
Alright, so it's not good news. You can see that there's a mark there, just there, which is basically, it's scratched. It would mean that it would cause less pressure in the engine and potential catastrophic failure. So doesn't look like we can use this. We need to get a new one. Oh boy. So Sod's Law, the oil pump is also damaged. That gouge that's in there, it doesn't look that major, but when it comes to oil pressure, it will significantly drop the pressure of oil in the car. This engine already suffers from low oil pressure problems if the oil level is not up to its maximum level. And that's what caused the damage on this engine. If you want to learn more about that, I'll put a link somewhere above and then downstairs down in the description below. So I guess the question is, where do we go from here? I mean, it's a lot more damage than I was expecting. I thought when I bought the car that it was rear damage only, and then we found out that actually the engine itself is damaged as well. And that just changes everything. I mean, everything around the engine is expensive. There's a lot of talk about this engine being originally built by Ford. I'm going to make another video about that because there's been some comments that have been left as well, asking for more detail about that. It is true, however, it's not true. And that's all I'll say for the moment. There will be another video that I'll make about the history of this engine and why people say it was made by Ford when in fact it wasn't. I'll come back to that later in another video. But what do we do about this car now? Because the thing is, there's damage to the back, there's damage to the engine. It's going to be quite expensive to get this repaired. And in order to get this done, I need to use original parts. There's no aftermarket parts that can be used. There's hardly any used parts around, and where there are used parts, they're quite expensive. And the thing is that my car is damaged in some quite unique places, at the back in particular. So that whole rear substructure is composite, and around where the boot is. And in my car that's damaged, I have found a donor car which is a golden color, so I refer to it as the gold car. And I can take from that, I can buy that donor car. It's here in Riyadh, which is really unique. I mean, to find the right car here in Riyadh, salvage car, that's quite rare in itself. So that kind of makes me think that maybe there's something in it here. Maybe I can use that donor car. If you think I can, let me know in the comment section below. I'll pop some images of the donor car as well. So my thoughts are to get the car repaired. I don't want to abandon the project. I really would like to see this car back on the road. It's very easy for me to turn this into a parts car, and I don't really want to do that. So I would like to get it back on the road. It'd be such a learning experience as well. But there's just so much that needs to be done to the car, and I need to figure out how to get that done. So rather than sort of me talking to you about it like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a front to back walkthrough of the car itself, so you can see for yourself what the damage is, and you make your own assessment. You let me know in the comment section below if you think I can repair this car. What would you do if this was your car and you're in the same situation as me? Would you repair it, or would you just abandon ship? Let's check it out, and then we'll come back to it at the end. Okay, so I just wanted to give you the latest on the car. As you can see, the front bumper and the lights have been taken out, and the suspension, the wheels are off. The reason why this is because the engine was removed from below, and so because of that they had to remove the front subframe. The front subframe has been put back on, but the engine is still not in the car. So you can see that it's still not in the car. But if anything, what it does show is that there's no sort of damage to the crash cams or anything like that. It's all exactly as it should be. So there's no issues on that side. Okay, so the engine, what happened is the engine, the drivetrain, the gearbox, and then the differential, they all came out from underneath the car. We could have taken the engine out from the top, but we actually wanted to drop everything just to sort of see the condition, and I'll show you the condition in a second. So over here, this side is fine, this door is fine. This is really where it's been pushed in slightly, so this does need to be pulled back slightly, but the door itself is fine. The glass on this side I believe is fine as well. This is slightly kinked here, but as this gets pulled back, this will also sort itself out as well. So here you can see that the trunk is damaged, the glass is fine. The donor car, the second car, the gold car, and the trunk on that is fine. The glass needs to be changed with this glass. So this glass is fine, that glass is damaged, but the trunk itself is all okay. You can see here also that this is all sort of damaged here, this is all damaged here. This is all fine on the other on the gold car, so we can take it straight from that and replace it. You can see here also the floor is all damaged. It's all fiberglass. This section is all fiberglass, so it's very easily changeable. The light here is fine. This side, the quarter panel is more or less fine. There's a slight kink there, but nothing too major. This will, when that side gets pulled slightly, this side will get straightened out over here. This door is damaged, as you can see. Now the door on the gold car is fine, so we can swap that straight over. This door is damaged. The gold car is also damaged as well. So I'm going to need to find another front door, but this is the only door that is damaged. In fact, it's the only panel on the whole car which we can't use on this car and we can't use from the other car. Maybe the other car, maybe it can be repaired. It depends on your workshop, but that kind of gives you a good idea overall. So the door mirror is also damaged there. Okay. The airbag here, the airbag hasn't popped. I think what it is they've lifted it thinking that it was the glove box. The glove box is underneath. Okay, so here we have the engine parts, the lights. It's just dusty. It's not damaged or anything like that. We have the exhaust parts down here, and then we have some more of the parts over here. We've got one of the wheels. This is the drivetrain. As you can see, there's no damage. Gearbox, differential, all in good condition. Okay, so that's all fine. That's the front bumper that's down there with the grille and everything. And we also have some more of the engine part, the panels, the plastic panels and things like that. That's all over there. So as you can see, that's a fair amount of damage on the car, but I personally think that it's something that I might be able to do, but I need a lot of luck on my side. I need the parts to come together. The parts are ridiculously expensive. So you saw that front door that was there. I think that is about a £4,000 part. You know, so it's just crazy expensive. And I haven't been able to find a front door. The gold car that I'm referring to, that the door on that is also damaged as well. So I need a little bit of luck on my side to be able to find some of these parts because they are really expensive. But then I'm thinking that the gold car has a lot of parts as well. So I need to do a little bit of maths and work this out because, you know, it could well be a bit touch and go, you know, especially with the engine damage as well. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. But the project continues, the rebuild continues. We're going to get this car back on the road, so join me for the ride. If you haven't already subscribed, do subscribe to the channel because we've got weekly videos coming out on this car. And if you like the video, then I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like button because it really does help us with the YouTube algorithm. Until next week, be back for another episode. Thanks very much. Take care.